Welcome to the third race of Herd summer racing season. This is race 2 on a Friday evening. Race 1 is also on Friday. That's hyper competitive races between race 1 and 2. If you want competition, these are the races you want to be in. We're heading off. We've got, see the King of the Mountain jersey? John Tickton. He's a herd guy. You see Mike over here next to me. He's obviously a herd guy. We have Brian de-essing tonight. And as always, the competition for us is ATP as they come on screen. Thomas on the left, Cleveland on the right. Thomas is doing the right thing as we're heading up to this sprint. He already seems to be tail gunning me, which I would rather I were tail gunning him. But we're trying to find out how to set up for this sprint. What I want to do is I want to just lock it in at like 6 watts per kilogram and take it easy. I don't want to hammer this one. I'd rather start right about now and go steady. But Thomas isn't picking it up, and eventually I get a little bit antsy and I just want to get going, so I go, which is obviously a mistake. I just perfectly set him up. Those red numbers, that's Thomas. I'm actually hitting 7. I was only wanting to do 6. I know I can typically take this sprint, but I do not want to go into red numbers. I don't want to burn a match this early. Thomas doesn't care. He goes ahead and he takes that first place spot right now. We've got it looks like Mike came in 3rd. I think I came in 2nd. I think that's how it went. But the thing is, we've got Thomas up here riding a disc. Most of us would consider this a climbing race because there are 5 KOMs and only 1 sprint, which is now done. Check out that disc back there. And he shows up with a disc. Well, talk about confidence. And I know he's the guy to beat for me anyway. So my goal was to just stay with him right now. If I can hang with Thomas for this race, I have a chance to try and pull this off. Mike's going to do the same thing. You can tell we're already locked in on that. The 3 of us are currently leading. John Tickton is going to be coming up here pretty soon. My understanding, I don't know John yet, but John apparently is a C guy. Might be one running through the D's and getting back up to C. I don't know what his conditioning level is. Maybe he's going to hang with us D's, but he was with us for most of this race. Now, being a points race, there's no need to go terribly fast through here. We can just recover and get ready for the next segment. Well, we got a little bit of a break. I talk about Thomas a lot, and that's because the current score between Thomas and I, who's currently riding my wheel back there, is me 0, Thomas 4, and I would really like to try and change that up if possible. That's really become part of my focus. We have a steady good competition between ATP and Herd in the Cat D level for this Herd Summer Racing League that's been going on all summer. It's a good, healthy competition as we're each pushing each other to go harder. We're already into the breakaway reverse here. Well, no, we're not. At this red line we are. My goal is actually to beat Thomas on this segment because I suspect he's going to beat me to the finish line for points. I have to grab every single segment point off of him that I can. And I know Mike's trying to lock in ahead of him and steal points as well. We're going to have to beat him on segment points. I don't think we can necessarily beat him on fin points. So we end up tacking this one extremely hard, trying to make sure that we are in the lead. Here I've got past him. He's picking up some watts, so we're actually having quite a good battle. Mike's up here ahead of me in the red. And we're just trying to win this segment, take as many points as we can. So we end up coming through here with John there. Okay, I came in 1st, John 2nd, Mike 3rd, and then Thomas pops into 2nd. So we only managed to take 1 point away from him on this one as we head over to the Sur Summit North is going to be our next attempt here. We've got a little bit of time to recover, so we're going to be taking it easy, regrouping the herds together. Thomas is with us. We end up with the 4 of us off the front for a bit, and the conversation, was do we go? But we don't think we need to push hard because we're beating everybody on segments. So this group of 4 is probably where the fin points is going to matter. For the winner's probably going to come out of this group. I know we're letting some D's pass us, but where the anticipation is that we're just going to pass them up when we begin the climb. Thomas, being the smart rider he is, wants as far away from the front as he can be, and I want to stay away from the front. I'm supposed to be the climber on this next climb, and we're supposed to be able to secure some points out of this. So we're coming up on it now. And there's really no sense slowing this down. The agony is the agony, and this is long enough. It's about a 5-minute climb. I think we end up with a little bit quicker with some of these guys, but we're all together doing fine. My goal from here on out is 3 watts per kilogram up this climb. And I start off pretty well, hanging with who I want to hang. Thomas pulls away there as those C's and B's go by us, and he takes full advantage of that. And I start cracking. I can't hold the 3 anymore. I mean, I think I ended up averaging a little over 2.4 on this climb. I haven't looked to be sure, but it was nothing compared to what I needed. My 5-minute is 3, so I should be able to hold 3 up this thing, but there are just no legs available at this time. So I end up getting dropped by the 3 lead riders. And I'll tell you, you're supposed to recover in between these segments. You know, push real hard and get some recovery during that little downtime. Let's look at the numbers here. We've got Thomas, Mike, John. I came in 6th on this one, and I'm pretty much dead. So I'm not recovering like I'm supposed to be recovering. And to be honest with myself, that's primarily due to not enough time on the bike. Not enough miles getting ridden. I really need to spend a lot more time in zone 2, but it's always a tough balance between work, family, and cycling time. I'm sure everybody else is struggling with that same thing. I just don't have the hours I need to be able to have the zone 2 that is required for the recovery. So I'm doing what I can. We're preparing here. We're going to go through Breakaway Bray this time. And again, we have to win these segments since we're not going to be able to get fin points. So we end up pushing hard through here. I don't see a reason to slow this down. There's no competition on it. We just have to get our numbers coming through here. And managed to push hard enough to get 2nd, John with 1st. And that's fine. We've picked up a few points. And that's what we need. Of course, I've got Brian in my ear here yelling at me to pick it up. But he's also given us our point totals, and we know on the road where we stand and what we need to do. At this point, Mike and John are our leaders on the road. Trying to stay with Thomas. I've lost Thomas. I mean, he's 48 seconds now ahead of me. I'm not going to be able to catch him. I'm just trying to get to, I'm trying not to let too many people pass me because these fin points are 3 points each, and I'm already sitting in 9th place, which I'm giving up so many points to those riders on the front. But I'm letting the D pass me. Saki passed me. Doring passed me. Doring, I thought maybe I could catch him, and the next thing I know, he's a minute ahead. I don't know where all that power came out of. But here's the other climb, and I think Brian said my PR on this thing was 109. Obviously, that's not going to happen on a race like this today where you're getting exhausted on segment after segment. I'm doing what I can because, again, I got to get points since I'm not going to get fin points. So getting up here as fast as I can is fine, but I finished 6th. I'm very disappointed with myself. And now I've just got to make sure that I can pull off at least a spot on this. So I'm sitting here and I'm riding with Saki and trying to stay with him and not give up those 3 points before we get to the fin. We're heading back into town. We're heading up to Breakaway Bray, and we're trying to just hang on. I'm not going to catch the guys in front, but I cannot give up spots to the guys in behind. So we end up coming up here to Clyde Kicker, and we'll slow it down just so I can look good on the moments when I actually looked good on this race. So we're going to be kicking hard as we come up through here, trying to, again, salvage some points off this and not fall too far down the table. Remember, this is a GC situation going on right now as well, and this is the 3rd race. There are 8 total. Coming in 2nd to John, Thomas in 3rd, so I snagged a point off of him there. But there are 8 races in total, only 6 count, so we have to do 6 good ones, seeing what we can. So at this point, my fin points are pretty much locked. I've got Andrews 13 behind. I've got the next D rider a minute ahead. I'm not catching him. With 1.2K to go, this race is pretty much going to be finishing the way we have it right now. Let me speed up a little bit here. No sense going through the boring parts solo. Going to slow it down a second, give you a minute to talk. This ATP herd battle is actually pretty interesting because ATP's pretty much beaten us most of these races, but we're just right behind them. I mean, Sherry came in 1st in the 1st race. She's from ATP. We had Steve Pritchard come in 2nd. Brian Mudge came in 4th. So we're there, but we've got to figure out a way to either dig deeper, push a little harder, get smarter, whatever it's going to take to be able to start taking these first place spots. But this is why it's so much fun to have competition. We are actively chasing ATP, working hard to pass them up. And I know from chatting with them that they're doing the same. I heard something about spreadsheets at the last series. So it's good for both teams to be trying to catch each other, push this hard as they try to stay ahead. And we try to find the extra time that we need to get some better training in. Well, here's the end of the race. Let's take a look at what the points were. Like I said, we're close, but not good enough. There's Thomas beating Mike by 1 point. Mike was worried about these climbs, but obviously he did a great job on them. And then we have John coming in 2nd. I'm coming in 4th. So 1 ATP, 3 herd, chasing at his heels again. So hopefully next week we'll pull it off a little bit better. Thomas, great job again. Looking forward to the next time we meet head to head.